Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today we are making these delicious fritters that you see on your screen. They are made from Bambara beans, blended up and mixed with some other ingredients. If you want to find out how I made them, then please stay tuned. First off, you'll see the ingredients that you need. The full list of ingredients and the method can be found on gingerandseasalt.com. The main ingredient here is Bambara beans. What you do need to do is make sure that you've soaked them in water for about 24 hours so that they make processing easier. So there we have our Bambara beans soaked and drained, and we'll put the Bambara beans into a blender and then chop up all the rest of our ingredients minus the flour and then put them all together and mix them. Now you can do that in bits if your blender or your food processor is not as strong. You can portion the Bambara beans and then blend it in bits. You will need to add a bit of water to help with the blending process, so do that. You want to make sure that you're not adding too much water, otherwise your mixture is going to be very liquidy and that is going to make it difficult to fry. So once you've finished blending that, what I did was add a bit of fonio flour. I didn't want to add regular flour because I didn't want it to become too, you know how regular flour has some gluten, so I didn't want that stretchy feeling for this. Now, if you've ever made a Koose or Akla before, then you know that it can be quite tiring. You have to soak the black eyed peas or cowpeas or black eyed beans, whatever you call it, in water. Then you have to remove the peel from the beans, and that is a whole lot of work. For this recipe, all you need to do is soak the Bambara beans and blend it. So it is much easier. So we add the flour just to bind the mixture a bit. So you don't add too much flour so that your batter is very thick. All we want to do is just bind it a bit so that when we are frying it, it's not so difficult to fry or it doesn't just spread into the oil. So next up, we're going to heat up a pan or a wok with some oil for deep frying. You want to deep fry this, we're not shallow frying it. So you want to make sure that your oil is very hot. If your oil is not very hot, your Bambara beans fritters are going to get soggy. You also need to ensure that you're not frying it at a high temperature throughout, otherwise the outside will get brown and the inside will be raw. Now you're going to be frying each of these for about 6 to 7 minutes. You don't want to be eating raw Bambara beans, so make sure that they're well done. If you're not sure, what you can do is you can take one of them, break them into half, and then check for consistency on the inside. If one part of the fritter has a different texture than the other, and most likely that's going to be in the middle. If the middle is has a different texture from the rest of it, then you know that it's not cooked, and then you need to put it back into the oil. Like I said, very important, when they first go in, you want to make sure that your oil is very hot so they form a nice crust outside, and then turn down the heat and then you can cook them to be done. You need to make sure that you're turning your fritters as well so that you get both sides beautifully brown. and also to check whether your fritters are burning. Now, when I was making this, I wasn't quite sure whether to call it Bambara Beans Koose or Bambara Beans Fritters, just because actually Koose is usually made from cowpeas or black eyed beans or black eyed peas, like I said. So I decided that I would just call it Bambara Beans Fritters. That's quite encompassing. So I fried this in three batches. The first batch is almost done. Take those out, they're nice and golden brown, and then fry up the second batch. And there you have it, a bowl of hot, delicious Bambara bean fritters. I made these on I don't remember when. I made these one day and I had some the first day, I had some the second day, and I had some the third day. That's how good they were. I also made some cocoa to go with that. Usually you would eat kose with cocoa, and I ate these bambara bean fritters with cocoa, and they were super delicious. They're crunchy on the outside and quite soft on the inside, and they're such a delight. I can't wait to make more. I've got a stash in the freezer, and I shall be eating them until they're all gone. I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Please remember to subscribe, to comment, to share, to like, and I'll see you next time. Happy eating!